Welcome to Beat Your Neighbor Fertilizer Tips and Tricks on Orchids. Today, of course, we're talking about the beautiful orchid plant. As far as the watering of an orchid, we see a lot of advertisements or little clips on orchids that you buy that say 3 ice cubes a week. That's a great place to start learning that they don't need as much as what you may think. I prefer a different method. I prefer the bath method. And what that is you first need to check to whether your orchid needs water or not. And how you determine that is pull it out of the pot. And I like to have a grower's pot and then have a decorative pot on the outside. That way I can pull it out and take a look at the roots without disturbing them. And if your roots look a little pale or yellow, sometimes it's new growth, but you'll be able to see the difference and no condensation inside there, that means it's time to water. If there's any condensation or the roots look like a real bright green, hold off, check it in a few days, and once it dries down, then water it. So the bath method. I normally do this in the kitchen, and what I do is under the faucet, I like to, one, wipe the leaves down so that any dust or anything that's been on the leaves can be taken away. It's kind of a nice little bath for it. And with tap water, average, not hot, not cold, I fill that all the way up. And let's do that here. All the way up to the brim. And you can see where that water is all the way to the top, and it's just sitting in that water. What does that do? Well, I set a timer for 30 minutes and I let it just sit. It gives time for the roots to absorb the water, for the barky mixture to also absorb the water, so that later on when those roots need more moisture, they can pull from that bark. And it just gives everybody a little bit of time to absorb it. Why don't you want to keep it full of water? Well, the roots will rot. The roots are like a tube that has a very fine hair that goes through the center. That fine hair is your actual root. The rest of it is like, if you would think of like a nylon that the water can go in, but it can't. It gets trapped in there, kind of forming a tube around that root, giving it moisture. If that gets too much moisture, it starts rotting, and we don't want that either. So after 30 minutes, my timer goes off. I simply just, and we're going to do this early for video's sake, lift that up, let the water drain out, discard the water, and put your plant back in it. Put it back on its shelf or wherever you have it sitting, and just let it be. I like to fertilize once a month, so how I do that is in my bath mixture. Instead of using regular tap water, I mix up the Beat Your Neighbor fertilizer, just a little bit less strength than what we normally would, maybe a quarter, about half strength of what I normally do. And then I would give them a bath in that fertilizer mixture. And that helps kick out those blooms, get the plant growing, and just give them more nutrients. I hope that helped. Don't forget to go to beatyourneighbor.com. You can order the fertilizer 24 hours a day and be shipped to you. Bye.